Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the studio. And it's Friday, the 8th of March, 2019, and Barry here with my offside egg here in the studio, and welcome along to you. And since the last time we met, we talked about having a good attitude and how important it is to have a good attitude and not to spread rumors around the place and letting staff have their privacy. Well, here to discuss about our last show on the 15th of February. Here's my offsider. Good evening to you.
Everyone, and good day, Barry. Welcome back to the studio, and good to be back again. And yeah, hello everybody. Hope you enjoy the show, and then yeah, we're looking forward to tell you more about what we're going to talk about today.
Lasagna. So, before we get on to that, it is important to respect each other and treat each other with respect and not upset people if they've had something bad happen to them. Here's my offside.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things in life to respect people and respect yourself and respect others. We know we talk about you guys about behavior in public and respecting people. It's one of the things that you do to your friends and your friends do it back to you.
And never ask questions about what has happened to that person because they may burst into tears and that will never do. Here's my offside.
Yeah, please don't try to do that in public because it's probably disrespect other people as well, and then you bring the reputation down as well.
And you're not only wrecking the relationship for the person with you and assisting with you, they are there to be respected and trusted and given the privacy that they need. And that is the wrap up on the last show which happened last month. Now, on with tonight's show. Bellissimo, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on the show we are talking Italian food, and tonight on the show we are talking lasagna. Now, joining me in the studio, good evening to my offsider.
¿Qué pasó? Italiano. Welcome back to the studio. We're going to talk about Italian food, and we you can hear us. We can drop a few Italian words, topic today. But yeah, welcome back to the studio again with Barry Feet.
Yep, well, lasagna. Now, we all love lasagna, don't we? And how do we make it? Well, you need your mince, good quality mince. You need some vegetables. You need passata. Now, that's a tomato-based sauce which you use to make spaghetti bolognese. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, that's how you prep your if you make lasagna at home. Like Barry was telling you guys, and most important thing, you need to buy cheese. A cheese to top it off the great lasagna.
Now, most important, guys, if you are cooking lasagna, make sure that your ingredients are fresh and in date before you cook with them. Here's my offsider.
Like Barry say, fresh products is one of the key, most important thing when you make home lasagna.
And lasagna is done in three layers, okay? First, you must have a good suitable baking dish to bake your lasagna in. But before I get to the baking stage of this, to make your meat sauce, you must make sure that you have good quality mince and a good tomato passata sauce for the meat sauce and any other ingredients. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, what do? You just chop up a first onion, first garlic, then chuck in in the fry pan, brown it, and then after that you chuck your meat inside, and then mix your whatever you want to mix it. We want to put a paprika or anything inside, a little bit of spicy herbs to make your meat smell beautiful before you put it on.
And also you can add some mixed vegetables to the mixture too. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, you can mix carrot, peas, and other ingredients. But yeah, it's one of the good thing you throw some vegetable in there, like Barry said.
Now for the lasagna sheets themselves, you need to have good lasagna sheets. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, good lasagna seed. But some people they make from scratch. They make it made in home, especially they telling people they know how to make lasagna paste. It's more very tasty when we made it at home.
Now for the cheese sauce, you need to make a basic white sauce of milk, butter, flour, ground nutmeg, and salt and pepper. Now, a white sauce is called a bechamel sauce. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, that sauce is it's kind of cut through the meat to tender the meat and then make the meat like taste cheese and like taste very beautiful, like very safe.
Okay, now with the cheese sauce, you must make sure that the milk is hot before you add it. Don't add cold milk, otherwise it won't work. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, that is right. The reason why you boil the milk because they have the tasty, milky taste. That's why you boil the milk to get the cheesy taste into the sauce.
So, you can add some tasty cheese and cheddar cheese or whatever cheese you've got. But make sure you have all your ingredients ready to assemble the lasagna and your good oven proof dish. Here's my outsider.
Right, that's right. And one thing when you make your sauce, the tomato, you have to be like you have to cut some fresh tomato there because when you cook your sauce, a little bit of chunk tomato in there to make the lasagna taste really beautiful as well.
So, to assemble your lasagna, you need to think about what layer goes on the bottom. Now, how would you make your lasagna?
For me, I'll make one layer on the bottom, and then I first I'll put spray a little bit of oil on the bottom, olive oil, and then I put the first layer, and then I um, put the mince, then a layer mince, and then a layer mince, and then just a sauce and the cheese on the top.
And make sure that the cheese is good before you put it on. Because if the cheese is out of date or not fresh, forget it. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, because cheese is one of the best ingredients in the lasagna. Because cheese has to be on top. Because the cheese, when you cut it, when you taste it, fresh and beautiful.
Okay, now the important thing about your oven and your dish. Firstly, your dish. You must make sure that your dish is oven proof before you start assembling your lasagna. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's very important to have a good dish to put your lasagna on it, and we have a good oven. Because if you have a good dish but you don't have a good oven, it doesn't really work well. It's like you have to have a good oven, good dish to make the dish perfect.
So, before you put the dish in the oven, make sure it doesn't crack. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, it's one thing that you have to look after your lasagna because when you before you put it on, you have to check it again before you put it on because you don't want to see any crack in there. Because when you yeah, that's right. Just make sure that it's all sealed and beautiful.
And if the lasagna is browning too quickly, cover it with aluminium foil. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, you have to cover it first, and then you close it up probably 10 minutes before it's done. It's cooked properly. Then you take the aluminium foil off to brown the top of the cheese.
Okay, but the important thing about lasagna is it is time consuming sometimes. But homemade lasagna is the best way you can get a good, wholesome, nutritious meal. And here's my offsider.
Mm. Lasagna is one of the best meal like in Italian culture. And, it's when you have the meal with with family and friends, it's very important to have a beautiful lasagna to have it.
And let the lasagna stand for 5 to 10 minutes before cutting and serving. Here's my offsider.
You take it out from the oven and sit on the top for probably good 5 minutes before you cut it because you need to sit the lasagna before you. If you cut it straight away, it's still moisty and wet. You have to sit for a little bit to set the meat and stuff.
And what can you serve with lasagna? Well, you can serve it with salad, and here's my offsider.
He's right. You can serve it with salad, green salad. You can serve it with garlic bread. You can serve it with um, Parmesan cheese on top.
Okay, you can make your own garlic bread, which I have put a video about on YouTube, but I will tell you how to make your own garlic bread to go with the lasagna. You simply get a fresh long breadstick, okay? Some softened butter, some herbs of your choice, whether it's garlic or parsley. Well, you need garlic to go in the mix, and make sure you soften the butter first before putting in between the bread slices. Here's my offside.
Yeah. The lasagne is what we talking about? Sure.
So with the garlic bread, you need to make sure that the bread is fresh before slicing it and putting the butter in between the slices because you can't use stale bread. The bread has to be fresh.
That's right.
And what you do is spread the butter in between the layers of bread, and the butter has to be soft, okay? Mix some parsley in and some parmesan cheese if you want some parmesan cheese in the butter, and then you wrap the bread up in foil and bake it in the oven. Well, bake the bread in the oven, I should say, for 10 to 15 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes until the cheese and butter has melted, and then serve with your lasagna. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's how you make the garlic bread. Garlic bread has to be fresh if you want to make your own garlic bread. Because, garlic bread is one of the best tasty with your lasagna. Like Barry said, you have to cut it, buy a whole meal bread and cut it, and then put your cheese and stuff inside, and then bake it. That's how you do it.
To finish off the show tonight, back onto a bit of our regular stuff. It's important that we treat each other with respect and give the staff the privacy that they need if they're not feeling the best. And here's my offside.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You just have to be careful when you do all this stuff and make sure you've done it properly because everything will become beautiful at the end, toward the end.
And and we have just before we do finish, it is important to give the staff respect and privacy. Here's my offside.
Yeah, the stuff had to, like Barry say, had to give them privacy and give them respect. That's part of work process and work in the team.
And as I said at the start of the program, don't say anything to anybody that might bring them to tears because it's a very hard time for someone if they have lost someone. So please refrain from discussing anything that may upset the person. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, you have to show some respect to other people as well. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to upset the staff. You don't want to make them feel, uncomfortable in a way. Just, be respectful and you try to be, sensible and enjoyable. Again.
And give your condolences. And that's all you can do. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, that's one of the best thing that you do. You just, you know, try to show empathy and show them that you care for that person as well.
It's almost time for us to say good night. And before we do head off this evening, the number that we always bang on about, and that is 000. Please do not ring that number unless you have to. And here's my outsider with that message now.
Yeah, we keep reminding you guys about 000. Please, we say that to you time and time again about 000. Please don't dial the number. Just leave the number alone. It's not like a mobile you call your parents or call someone else. It's an emergency number, please.
So please leave that number alone and be thoughtful towards the operators and tell them what has really happened, and don't make up stories. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, please. If you do that and make up story, you end up in a place you don't like. You don't want to be. Just be careful.
Next week on the show, we'll be talking about ice cream. Now, I spoke a bit about ice cream this week, but next Friday on the show, we'll be talking ice cream and all that. So we do hope that you will join us then for the program next week. And here's my outsider to tell you about the ice cream.
We all know about ice cream. It's just the time of the year everybody loves Christmas, and Barry's video about ice cream is one of the most funny and beautiful saying from Barry about ice cream. I can't believe how well say Barry about ice cream.
So we'll be talking a little bit what you can do with ice cream and all of that and what you can serve with ice cream. So look out for my next ice cream video, and maybe I'll talk about some ice cream cake on the show. So get your appetites warmed up, your mouth watering, because this is a food month this month, and next month we'll be talking about Australian food on the show. So we look forward to that, bringing you that. So on that note, here's my outsider to say good night to you now.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for staying tuned. Please, if you feel cold, feel hot, go and get some ice cream because it's one of the best things.
And look up a recipe for ice cream, because if you've got kids that love ice cream, take them down and give them some ice cream.
Yeah.
So, so until we see you again,
All right. Have a good one. Good night, everybody. Thank you for staying tuned.
And remember, don't drink 000. Here's my outsider.
Yeah. Keep reminding you guys, please don't call 000. It's not necessary. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
And good night, everyone. See you next week for ice cream.
See you next week for ice cream.
And keep reaching for the stars. Have a good weekend, everybody. Good night.